Most people think Machiavelli was the most dangerous mind in history. They are wrong. Most people think intelligence protects you. It doesn't. Most people think being good gets you ahead. It gets you destroyed. Arthur Schopenhauer, the man who understood human nature more ruthlessly than anyone who ever lived, left behind 8 lessons that most people are too comfortable to hear. Not lessons about being nice. Not lessons about working hard. Not lessons about believing in yourself. Lessons about power, about survival, about what actually happens in the real world when you are not watching. By the end of this video, you will either be uncomfortable or you will be dangerous. There is no third option. Subscribe. We go this deep every week.
Before we begin, understand who this man actually was. Schopenhauer was not a motivational speaker. He was not an optimist. He was not interested in making you feel good. He was a man who looked at human beings with the cold, unblinking eye of a surgeon and described exactly what he saw. No flattery, no comfort, no mercy. He watched the powerful win. He watched the honest lose. He watched the crowd follow the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Every single time. And he wrote it all down. Not as a complaint, as a manual for the people smart enough to use it. These are his 8 ruthless lessons. Take notes.
Lesson 1. Never explain yourself to people who have already decided what you are. This is the trap that destroys more intelligent people than any other. The belief that if you explain clearly enough, if you are patient enough, if you provide enough evidence, the person in front of you will update their opinion. They will not. Schopenhauer identified the reason 200 years before modern psychology confirmed it. People do not form opinions through logic. They form them through emotion, identity, and ego. And then, after the opinion is formed, they use logic to defend it. Your explanation is not received as information. It is received as an attack. And every attack triggers a defense, and every defense hardens the original position. The ruthless lesson. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the refusal to play a game designed for you to lose. The person who does not explain themselves appears more powerful than the person who does. Every time.
Lesson 2. Your kindness is being weaponized against you, and you are helping them do it. Schopenhauer wrote something that polite society does not want repeated. The world is not a place that rewards goodness. It is a place that mistakes goodness for weakness and treats weakness accordingly. Think about this carefully. Every time you gave someone another chance they did not deserve, you trained them that your limits were not real. Every time you absorbed someone's cruelty because you wanted to be the bigger person, you confirmed that the cruelty was acceptable. Every time you explained your feelings to someone who was using those feelings against you, you handed them the weapon. The ruthless lesson. Kindness shown to the wrong person at the wrong time is not virtue. It is a transaction where you pay and they take. Reserve your softness for the people who earn it. Give everyone else only what they can handle. Your indifference. Lesson 3. There is a force inside you that will destroy everything you are trying to build, if you do not understand it. Schopenhauer called it the will. The blind, animal, biological drive that wants endlessly, stupidly, without reason, regardless of whether the wanting serves you or destroys you. It wants the argument, even when losing it costs you everything. It wants the revenge, even when taking it eliminates your advantage. It wants the approval, even when chasing it makes you weak. It wants the pleasure, even when the pleasure is a trap. The will does not care about your goals. It cares about its own satisfaction. And its satisfaction is worth nothing. The ruthless lesson. The most dangerous person in any room is not the one with the most anger, not the one with the most ambition. It is the one who has mastered the will that everyone else is enslaved by. The one who can want something and not chase it. Who can be provoked and not react. Who can lose and not collapse.
Lesson 4. The crowd will dull you. Solitude will make you dangerous. Schopenhauer spent decades deliberately withdrawing from social life. Not because he was broken, not because he was afraid, because he understood something that takes most people a lifetime to discover. Your thinking takes the shape of the conversations you have. Spend your days in trivial conversation, your mind becomes trivial. Spend your days reacting to other people's drama, your mind becomes reactive. Spend your days seeking approval, your mind becomes dependent. But spend real, extended time alone, thinking without performance, reasoning without an audience, building without seeking recognition, and something happens to your mind that cannot happen any other way. It becomes yours, completely, ruthlessly yours. The ruthless lesson: every hour you spend performing for the crowd is an hour you are not becoming the person the crowd cannot ignore.
Lesson 5. Arguing is for people who have nothing to show. Demonstrating is for people who have already won. Schopenhauer wrote an entire book on the art of winning arguments, cataloging 38 tricks people use to win debates they have already lost on merit. His conclusion was not what most people expect. He did not conclude, "Here is how to win arguments." He concluded, most arguments are not about truth. They are theater. And the intelligent person who enters this theater, thinking it is about ideas, will always leave confused about why winning felt so empty. Because they won the theater. They did not win reality. The ruthless lesson. Stop trying to convince people with words. Build something they cannot argue with. Produce something they cannot dismiss. Become something they cannot ignore. Let reality make your argument. It is the only argument that wins permanently.
Lesson 6. The moment the crowd agrees with you, question yourself. The moment they disagree, look more carefully. Schopenhauer had a brutal view of collective opinion. He watched the academic crowd celebrate Hegel, whom he considered a fraud, while ignoring his own work for decades. He watched the social crowd reward performance over substance, volume over accuracy, confidence over truth, consistently, reliably, without exception. And he drew a conclusion that most people never have the courage to accept. The opinion of the majority is not evidence of truth. It is evidence of what the majority finds comfortable. The ruthless lesson. If you want to find what is true, look where the crowd is not looking. If you want to find what is valuable,
look where the crowd is not investing. The crowd's contempt is often the most reliable signal that you are on the right track. Schopenhauer's work was ignored for 50 years. Then it shaped the next century.
Lesson 7. Every weakness you show is a weapon someone else will use. Every truth you volunteer is ammunition you handed to the wrong person. Schopenhauer understood that most people talk too much. Not because they are stupid, because they are desperate to be understood. And the desperation to be understood makes them reveal their fears, their doubts, their needs, their vulnerabilities, to people who will file that information away and use it precisely when it hurts most. The most dangerous person in a room is not the one who talks the most. It is the one who talks the least and listens the most. They leave knowing everything about you. You leave knowing nothing about them. The ruthless lesson. Your silence is information about your strength. Your words are information about your weakness. Choose very carefully which information you distribute.
Lesson 8. The person who needs to win today will lose everything eventually. The person who is willing to lose today will win everything eventually. This is the lesson Schopenhauer's own life proved. He submitted his masterwork at 30. It was ignored. He competed with Hegel. He lost, publicly, humiliatingly. He spent decades in obscurity, while lesser minds received the recognition he had earned 10 times over. And he did not collapse. He did not compromise. He did not make his work smaller to fit what the world was willing to receive. He simply continued, writing, thinking, building, playing a game with a time horizon that most people...
8 lessons. 8 uncomfortable truths from the most ruthless observer who ever lived. Never explain yourself. Stop letting your kindness be weaponized. Master the will, or it masters you. Choose solitude over the crowd that dulls you. Stop arguing. Start demonstrating. Question yourself when the crowd agrees. Control what you reveal. Play the long game. None of these lessons will make you popular. None of them will make you comfortable. All of them will make you harder to defeat. Schopenhauer did not write these ideas so you would feel good about yourself. He wrote them so you would see clearly. So you would stop being surprised by how the world actually works. So you would stop being destroyed by things you should have seen coming. The world does not reward the good. It rewards the prepared. Now, you are prepared. Subscribe. Leave a comment with the lesson that hit you hardest. And share this with someone who is still being destroyed by things they should have understood by now. We go this deep every week. See you in the next one.